pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The October 18th budget hearing were distributed. Have a motion to approve those minutes. Mike? Diane? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. The minutes for the October 18th regular commissioners meeting were distributed. Copies are here tonight. Additions or corrections? Motion to approve? How about Diane and Mike as a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Treasurer's report. Bill.
All right, we'll start with the codes. It's the one pager, front to back. One page. Total assets, $86,223. Bottom of the page are tonight's vouchers for codes. And I'll turn it over, we have the checking accounts and the savings account. Okay, now the district one. First thing we have an addition, if you turn to page 13, the last page, and add Usherwood, voucher for Usherwood, $1,381.40, brings us to a new total of $42,545.77. Got 37 district vouchers tonight, 2 credit cards, 1 credit card for codes, 4 codes vouchers, and 3 overtime vouchers. And the bank statements go to Jeremy. The new truck P2 has been paid. Insurance has been updated on it for the new P2, and adjustment was made for the old ladder truck that we were selling. I received a deposit of $5,000 towards the sale of the new ladder truck, and that's been deposited. And if you would go to page 8 and 9 on the bank account pages before you. Right on page 8 is the money market, and towards the bottom, our bond funds totaled $777,692. And if you go down at 4 more places, that's to pay for the truck is $763,000. That came out to pay for the new truck. And on page 9, you'll see it. I made an error on page 9, the bottom. I took originally the $763,000 out of the reserve fund apparatus, which shouldn't have. So there's a minus entry, and then immediately I had to, because I transferred it, I had to transfer it back. So that's a wash. On page 5, the liabilities, I added, even though we don't start paying on it yet, but I added to that sheet the depository trust company for the new truck.
What page is that?
On page 5. I just put it in so that's ready to go. There's no payments due this year. 6, if we want to also do, there's a permissive referendum there on the EMS gear. We're down to $1,177.18. If we want to close that out now, I think that was okay too. Yep.
Do you need a motion for that, or do we?
Would be nice,
Can't
yes.
hurt.
Wouldn't hurt.
Okay. I'll make the motion to close out the equipment reserve, for permissive referendum.
I'll second.
Second by David, all in favor? Aye.
And right below that,
Opposed? Carried, okay.
and just down to the last item, that's Station 2 roof repair and parking lot repair. We have $175,000. And in tonight's bill is one from Plumley, approximately $10,000, which will be coming out of that, but that'll be next month. But the bill is here. Okay, and when we're at it, page 7, the service award, we got most of the money back we lost last month. It made $23,894. I don't think there's any other surprises here. That's it.
Everybody had a chance to review the treasurer's report? Any questions for Bill? Motion to approve? Mike? Second by David. Further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Motion to pay the vouchers as audited. Motion by David, second by Mike. All in favor? Carried. Now, Jeremy Patterson was to review the bank statements this month, and he is out of town, not here this evening. Shall I do that? I can do it tomorrow at the office. Okay, replace my name there. And we closed out the. All set, Bill?
Yep.
Correspondence.
The counselor was received and distributed. Fire District Affairs was received and distributed. The Central Region Educational Seminar is November 20th at Belgium Cold Springs from 8 to 1. That's open to commissioners and chiefs. If anyone's interested, you need to know like, as soon as possible. We got a notice of expanded legal obligation under New York State prevailing wage law. They're seeking compliance and cooperation with this new law. We had to submit a contact person, and then they'll be following up with us for more details of what's going to be our obligation to comply with the new law. So I emailed them with our contact information, and there'll be more to come for that.
Who's the contact person?
It me, because I'm there all the time, and then I'll forward the information to everybody else.
Do you have any idea what
No, it's mostly really large projects, which for projects that exceed $5 million, which isn't gonna be us anytime soon, so I don't think we have much to worry about on that end. We got a notice of renewal for the 22 premiums for Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, and that is within our budget. It looks like it was about a 6% increase. And that's all I have.
The prevailing wage thing, is that like a form letter sent to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Every municipality.
It wasn't sent to us
No.
specifically?
No.
Okay, fine. Police report.
All right, so as far as equipment, we're still ordering some miscellaneous medical and other fire equipment that put orders in for, just waiting for some of those to come in. The intake valves for the new truck has been ordered, we're just waiting for those to come in. Working with Commissioner Chair on the rest of the items for the new truck. I'm going to bring up the surface now.
The what?
The surface,
The computer.
computer.
Yeah, unless there's an IT thing.
Yeah, I can do it right.
Yeah, that way all the IT stuff goes together.
The special events we have coming up, the Parade of Lights, on Saturday, November 27th. I'm just waiting to find out what apparatus our members want to use. I did get a request from Northwest to have a standby. If I do grant that request, I'm going to suggest that we stand by in our quarters at Station 2. That way we're not tied up in the parade down in the village. The new truck is here. They've had several members going out and train on it on a regular basis, which is good. I'll have a list of qualified numbers probably by the end of the week. We did find a list of a few things that need attention, pretty minor. Mike and I are working with Jerry and compile a punch list. So once we get that together, we'll get that to Vanderbilt. But some of the majority of the stuff we're finding so far is pretty minor. So for COVID-19 preparation and all that, we're still in very good shape with PPE. Of course, be vigilant wearing your PPE on calls, especially EMS calls. Clean and sanitize your hands on a regular basis, especially when you're at your calls. Based on the numbers of stuff that I'm seeing, we talked a little bit about this before. Think about reverting back to the policy we had in place before. Vaccinated members can go without masks if they choose in the buildings or apparatus. We're going to still require masks for unvaccinated members, and reopening the kitchen, popcorn machine, and ice machines.
Do we want to discuss that now or wait until old business? Okay. So you're thinking, still you would use masks on all calls?
Correct.
Okay.
What are you gonna, visitors that are using it? They're just gonna have to just be vaccinated. If you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask,
Correct.
correct? So we just need, to have the signs changed.
All the ones that we had before, we saved all those. So I can get them to John, it's just a matter of switching them out.
And what date did you plan to have that go into effect?
I would say Wednesday.
Okay, and midnight, Wednesday night? Or you want to do like noon or?
Let's say noon, that way we can
Okay.
give John time to get everything switched around since Jerry's off.
So,
I'm good with it.
does someone want to make the motion to that effect?
I'll make the motion.
David makes the motion. Mike seconds. This is adopting the chief's recommendation, effective Wednesday noon.
Yeah, that's right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Continue.
All right, so we did change the process of signing out M2, and I've seen some more usage in that, so that's good. We're well into using the EMS chart software now for our PCRs, ePCRs. I've seen quite a few reports come through, and they all look really good. So, just some minor things here and there that we're gonna talk to Chief Ford, and we're trying some second training day just to, do a little refresher and just to go over some of the spots where I see a few things missing here and there, but otherwise it looks pretty good.
Chief, going back to number 5, process for signing out M2. We all know this was a work in progress. We're going to find glitches along the way. Can we look at possible ways that one of our caretakers doesn't have to shuttle it for training purposes to get another vehicle here?
Yeah.
And that way that stays in service.
I think we can probably use once we get the old truck out of Station 2 and everything put back the way it is, then one being out of service, we can house M3 at Station 2 in that bay, and anybody that needs it can just pick it up at Station 2.
Okay. Sounds great, thank you.
Chris, I was encouraged, our members putting their duty crew in service, we've been setting up an Engine 91. Brakes use has been pretty good lately. I honestly thought we would do the survey a little bit, we'll go over some of the issues that I noticed on there that were kind of the main ones, where people just not want to use it while we're sweating, like trying to drive and use the app and stuff like that. So we'll work on that. Other than that, just, again, thank you for your support.
Any questions for HB? Chief Massaro's not here. Do you have a report for him?
He didn't send me the report, but I know some of the stuff that he's been working on. He did give a chief report, and he's gonna be doing some pre-planned stuff this Thursday for drill. Bill and I have been working quite a bit lately with the developer that wants to put the apartments at Drake's and 31. I just gave them the dimensions of the new truck so that they can take their turn radius and all that data and make sure that it's actually gonna fit the way they have those plans drawn. Because
Can you take the dimensions of the old truck? Because the turning radius of the new truck's a lot nicer.
yeah, so they already have the old truck on file.
Okay.
What he uses a modeling tool. He puts the data in, we can actually simulate our trucks going through these areas. So,
With snowbanks,
well, that's,
which will narrow the roads.
I think one of the recommendations we're gonna make is they have a ton of curbing on the inside of this parking lot. We're gonna see if they can reduce that or eliminate it altogether, because in some areas where it's just very hard to turn. And we really don't want to start hitting cars. And we all know it's going to snow, it's going to be worse if it snows. The more we can do to get that open in there is better. I don't think of anything else. I don't think we're planning board wise. I don't think there is. No.
With the pre-plans, I know he's got a few completed. I think a couple of those we've already had alarms at. Is there a chance in the future for possible drills to have walkthroughs scheduled on the drill night?
Yeah, I think he's working on fuels now, I think, trying to, I know he was in talks with some of the places, but then, with COVID and stuff like that, they were getting a little leery, but I think, more places are starting to be more receptive coming in, just like Anheuser-Busch was, so I think this summer, you'll see more walkthrough type drills. One other thing along the lines of, the pre-planning stuff, we did get a list compiled of all the places, and I just had Knox boxes. We're in the process of just confirming that one of the boxes is still there, and where the location is, in each building, so we can take that. I can send that right to the 911 center. We get dispatched one of these places, they'll tell us right where the Knox box is and everything else, so we don't have to try and remember where it is. And then phase 2 of that is going to be going through and checking the keys that are in each one of those boxes and make sure that they're still current and work. And if they don't, then we can get those updated. That's all I know from Chief.
Anything from Chief Corcoran?
He should be back.
You should be back any minute, right?
Okay, we'll come back. Committee report, communication. There was a meeting a couple of weeks ago. Building and facilities. David.
Kitchen pantry, serving tables have been ordered. We're just still waiting for the parts on that. Did we get an ETA on that? Did you hear any more? Amy?
I haven't heard anything
Okay.
else.
Courts parking lot expansion. Plumley is done with their engineering work, and it's out to bid right now. Station 2, looks like we're probably not going to get to that till the spring. So I'll have Jerry keep an eye on the roof, make sure there's nothing leaking there. It's all been approved for Station 2. It's just, like everything else, the materials are backed up. So that's building facilities.
Okay, let's go back to Chief Corcoran.
Yes.
You have a report for us?
Training for November, we accomplished our CMEs for all of our EMTs, for all of our EMTs, got those taken care of, takes care of keeping the EMTs current, as well as make sure our pilot program's all lined up and taken care of. We're doing, this coming week, we're doing pre-plans, and then the following week is the holiday. And I'm working through December's training schedule. I got some stuff penciled in, so should have December's covered also.
Okay. Any questions for Chief Corcoran? Okay.
Thank you.
New truck committee and old truck, so Mike, sure, what do you got to tell us there?
Part of what the chief has said, we've got the new truck here. A lot of people have been out training and getting used to it. He's working on a list of qualified people. Currently, it still needs some equipment, the radios, the MDTs, things like that. It's going to take time like everything else. Some of the stuff we may be able to take from the old truck too, if we end up selling that. There is a list of minor things that we have found that's normal on a new vehicle. We also have a punch list from when the trip was made to Ohio. We have to go through and verify that those were all corrected also. Hopefully most of those were corrected in Ohio. If they weren't, that means more time out of service while it's here. So right now it's not in service. Selling the old truck. I've had a couple of bites. One person didn't show. I have another potential, but with the hydraulic leaks that were found Friday, those will have to be repaired before we can entertain selling it. So we're gonna have those looked at and repaired as soon as possible. So I believe at the time being, we've got mutual aid covering the box for that truck, so we're in good shape for truck coverage. That's it for the trucks.
Life Center Public Safety Meeting, tomorrow night at Lakeside, 7 p.m. Budget and Finance, of course, we had our budget hearing, and we approved the budget last meeting. Amy, it was turned into the town, so that is out for the 2022 budget. IT Committee, Jeremy is not here tonight, but we have a tentative meeting with Usher Wood, the quarterly meeting on December 10th at 2 p.m. Recruitment and retention, again, Jeremy is not here with a report. Personnel, vacation carryover request. Whoops, sorry.
Under IT for the Surface Pro, for part 2. Mike and I got a few quotes back from different places. Looking at approval for up to $1,200 for the Surface Pro for truck 2 used for the NDT. And that should cover the surface and chargers and everything else.
Did you say 1,200?
1,200. That won't cover the bracket for you. That we have to get from United.
That will cover it?
No, not the brackets. but
So
it's not.
what do you think the brackets?
The brackets, I believe, are on, is that not on their,
I didn't see it. I may have missed it.
says a tilt swivel motion
Oh,
device
yeah, yeah. Okay, it's on there.
is on there, if that's what that is.
So it's just so that we don't. It's 1,200.
Did you ask for, how much did you ask for?
1,200 just for the computer. I didn't see the one for the swivel. Or is that the one I sent you before? Is that the quote from United?
Yes, this is the quote from 1110.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I think we're looking at, because I was going to ask you about the install of the mobile radio, which is done at the same place. I think if we combine the two of them, $2,000 is going to be in the range. I don't have that quote in front of me, but
Yeah, the only thing, we were still waiting on that plate from Vandermold for the radio install. But we can at least get on United's schedule.
get us on their schedule, and thanks for reminding me of the plate. Talked to Suffin, they had ordered the plate and got the wrong one. So,
What was the price on that, Mike? Or is that part of
the
the
plate,
truck? Is that a separate price, or is that part of
which one?
the plate?
The plate is included.
Okay.
So just with that plate, you can see how parts and everything else is delaying, as Dave said. Doesn't matter what you're buying. So I think $2,000.
Okay, yeah. And I'll get a hold of them tomorrow and get us on
Okay,
their
thank you.
radar.
So make a motion for 2,000.
So I'll
are
make a
we
motion for
talking
2,000.
1,200 plus 2,000?
No,
No,
2,000.
2,000 total for the mobile radio and complete mobile radio install and a complete MDT install.
Okay, you're making that motion, Mike?
Yes.
I'll second it.
David seconds the motion. All in favor?
It's coming from
Opposed?
where?
Carried. What, Bill?
It's coming from where? Is it coming from where? What?
Oh, we can come from IT. Do we get money in the IT?
I think so. I believe so.
Other IT.
Yeah.
Fine.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so that's resolved. Can we move on to personnel now? Okay. I have requests from Jerry Tanner and John Burgess to carry over 5 vacation days. It is in our employee manual, if that's permissible. They need to use them up in the following year. Anyone want to make that motion?
Diane.
Diane makes the motion and David seconds?
Yep.
Okay. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I-
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Caretaker report, we have Gary's caretaker report here. He's not here to answer questions. Does anyone have any questions?
Did we have one from John?
What?
Did we have one from John?
We do not. I'll contact him tomorrow and see where they are.
Okay.
Truck maintenance. Mike, do you have anything there?
I am trying to, like everybody else, I'm looking through Jerry's list. I didn't know until near the last minute that he was not able to attend tonight, so, and most of his maintenance and stuff he runs through Jeremy, who's also not here tonight, so bear with me, please. Probably it's easier if you have questions, ask me and I'll answer them if I can. I mean, most of the vehicle maintenance problems we have, the big ones were truck 2, the green truck 2, the old one. And that's our big ticket item so far this month.
Building maintenance.
No, just buckling up for the winter months. Nothing else going on with that.
For what?
Buckling up for the winter months.
Oh,
Just getting
yeah, okay.
getting everything changed over. And we just renewed our contract for preventative maintenance.
For those,
Yes,
and there was no price increase.
which was good.
Is that,
That's it.
under new business? Whoops, let's see, go back to old business, sorry. Commissioner elections are on December 14th. Anyone who wants their name on the ballot for commissioner needs to have that in by 5 p.m. on November 24th. And you must specify what term you wish to run for. There's a 5-year term and a 2-year term up for election this year.
I forgot on old business, the boat is up on Auctions International, and it is now up to $1,325.
What?
$1,325.
So if you want to bid high, you bid off.
The auction ends next Monday, I believe. Monday, the 22nd at 6:20 it ends.
We have a active member application from Mike Chura. We have that all complete, Amy?
The only thing I'm waiting for is the arson check, which I'm pretty sure will be fine, but we have to, still have to do it.
But we should approve the membership pending the arson check and his visit.
Make that motion.
David makes a motion, Diane seconds. All in favor? Opposed? I think Mike, you were going to abstain. So the motion's carried with one exception. We need to schedule our year-end meeting date, schedule the organizational meeting date, and schedule the chief's interviews. And I know it's early to be doing this, but some of those meeting dates need to be publicized, and the organizational meeting, I think setting the meeting date at our December meeting doesn't give.
It would be tight, I mean,
It'll
we
be
could
tight.
do it, but
Okay. So we're looking first at the chief's interviews. Do we want to do the chief's interviews after our December meeting? That's an option. And then pick the other ones up at the year-end meeting, or do we want to do them at the year-end meeting period?
or we could do, depending on availability, either split it between those two, whoever, just give them the options.
Well, the year-end meeting, Bill, we're looking at, you probably don't want it on the 30th, the 29th, maybe the 27th or the 28th.
Yep, I think
Now, that's usually during the day. So is that a problem with you? Okay. I just told him it's usually during the day, and he said it's fine.
Okay, so how about the 28th? Diane, could you do the 28th?
I can.
What time?
We can start first thing in the morning.
3 o'clock, 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
9 sounds better?
I don't get there.
Okay, so 9 a.m. on the 28th. Then we could pick up chief's interviews either after or at our meeting the 20th or the 28th. Organizational meeting then is in January. And Bill, what's good for you? Anything
anything
there?
that first week, all that first week is good.
We can have that during the day or in the evening.
Do it in the day, we've done it in the day before. We've also did the organizational meeting on the same day, I think last time. Last year, didn't we do 2 meetings at once?
We did no,
We may have done a chief's interview
We
because we
yeah.
have not.
Yeah, I thought that we
but
did
the
2
organizational meeting has to be done before the 15th, I think.
Yeah.
So
meetings. Okay,
we may have done the regular meeting and the organizational meeting, timing wise, but the first, yeah, I don't think that's gonna work.
okay.
How about we're kind of used to Monday nights. We could do it Monday the 3rd in the evening, or we could do a daytime.
Monday the 3rd, Friday's the 3rd, Monday the 6th.
Monday the 3rd, no, 3rd.
Monday's the 3rd, January.
Oh, you're talking January.
January.
Okay, January. Okay.
At 7 o'clock.
And that's which one, the organizational or chiefs?
Organizational.
Organizational meeting.
chiefs we're gonna try to pick up, on the 20th or the 28th.
I'm sorry, what time is the,
You didn't say it.
Is that what?
We didn't say yet what time.
Yeah, on the 3rd, 7 o'clock. That fit for everybody?
Yeah.
So we've got. Okay, one of the things that under new business, the IT committee talked about was to purchase a new copier. And, so Amy's looked into that a little bit, and we're suggesting that, based on the price of the last one.
I did get pricing,
Oh,
we're looking at 5-ish,
5,000.
depending on, we've got to look at options, but it's gonna be around 5 probably. There's a couple options that we could, it may be lower, but
You think if we approve like 5,500?
that would be plenty.
is that will cover supplies too? Insurance supplies?
That's all part of, we have a contract for it.
Okay. I'll make that motion.
David makes the motion, is there a second? So Mike?
Now come on, IT as well.
Yes. All in favor?
Uh,
Opposed? Carried. Now, I need to bring to everyone's attention that the governor has signed a new law concerning symbols of hate. And this is quite explicit that fire districts, being a municipal part of government, and fire departments shall not sell, display, or display any symbols of hate or any similar image or tangible personal property inscribed with such unless the image appears in a book, digital medium, museum, or otherwise serves an education or historical purpose. And they're saying symbols of hate shall include, but not be limited to, symbols of white supremacy, neo-Nazi ideology, or the battle flag of the Confederacy. So we are definitely covered by this, and the fire department is definitely covered by this. So just letting everyone know that this legislation has passed, shall take effect immediately, and while these laws do not specify a penalty for violation, fire district officers should assume that violation of these laws will result in charges of discrimination under the human rights law filed by those who feel aggrieved by the conduct. So this can be, well, it is serious, and just wanted everyone to be aware of this legislation. Questions from the floor?
So will you be updating the code of conduct or any other district policy to reflect and include this new law and the reference to this new law?
I expect that we would want to do that. But I just wanted everyone to be aware, because it is something new.
Is that something that you could also send out to all the members on an email? So they'll be notified, and because you having it there and us bringing it in at a meeting, not everybody will be at the meeting, so you might as well do it as an email and everybody's covered.
Yeah. And I would tell you that it kind of came about for fire districts and fire departments, because there's a couple of fire departments on Long Island who displayed the Confederate flag on a fire truck during a parade. And it really, there was complaints, and that's what brought it to a head. So we need to be aware. Well, that was convenient. Okay, so our competition with the siren is over. Any other business from the board, from the floor, or the board, I'm sorry? Public comments?
Do you have any status on my complaint? And what you're doing?
No, I'm not involved in it, but
Yeah,
we
well,
know that's, the complaint has been done, we don't need to bring that up in the public meeting.
Well,
It's being addressed.
it has been investigated, and it is, the investigation found that the complaint was unfounded, and it was investigated by the 3 fire commissioners who were not involved in the complaint.
Then in that case, I'm gonna put mine in, because it was valid.
What was that?
Very valid complaint.
The complaint was valid.
Why wasn't that submitted with the other one?
Because I was waiting to see whether or not you guys did anything with this one.
Okay, we're going to executive session later.
We'll look at that.
I would like a copy of that, that's on
That you received it.
Yes,
It's on,
it. I would like a
still has to be signed.
okay, we'll get it to
Your
you.
process requires it to be signed.
I didn't send it.
Okay, any more business?
So I have a secondary question, and I told you this the other night, Kip. At least 4 people during meetings that I've had here with the woodworkers have asked me about the status of the wall here. And the bubbling on it and the issues with it and everything else, and when is it going to be looked at to be fixed? Because there's some issues with that wall. And I'm concerned about that wall having issues enough that we lose the access to the building.
So are you saying that you don't feel safe in the building?
No, I'm saying that the building has issues, that wall, that has been painted at least 8 times since I've been here. It needs to be fixed. There's issues with that wall, there's
I'll
bubbling.
let Jerry look at it. Okay, we'll have somebody look at it.
Well, mine's rusted because the water's coming through under the water.
Move on. No. Oh, yes, I do. I absolutely.
Okay, David moves to go to executive session for,
Follow up on the complaint that we received there. Okay.